Hello, and welcome back to my channel. And for today, I prepared an interesting aspect ASMR video related to the all types of clock, or we can say time passing measuring devices, because here we have also some ancient devices for measuring time passes, and let's see how the clock had evolved over time and became more and more intricate. Well, first we're gonna start from the top left with the sundials. Well, in sundials, we can say it's the clock from the ancient times. And how it works? Well, sundials, they use the position of the shadow cast by a gnomon or stick, this one, or stick or object, and in this way the sundials indicate, or had indicated in ancient times, the time of the day. It was used before the ancient Romans and even by the Chinese, the sundial. Well, the sundial, the components were a stick or a gnomon and a dial plate, mostly sculpted in a rock. Sculpted in a rock. Well, this was the first ever measuring device, time passing measuring device, the sundial. Next, we're gonna evolve, and the next one, it's the water clock. Water clock. Well, in the same category we can put also the famous clepsydra. Clepsydra, which is right, and uses sand as measuring devices. Right. This is a famous clepsydra invented by the ancient Greeks. Well, today we have the water clock and the clepsydra. They use the same principle of gravity, because both the water clock and the clepsydra measures times by a regulated flow of water or sand from or into a container. For example, we have a very big graded container here filled with water, and here we have a regulated water drop on the bottom one. Right. And after the first container it's filled, it's empty, it will be refilled. And in this way, judging by and reading the gradation, they know and orientated the time passing, what the time passing rays are. Maybe this is an hour, maybe. Well, the principle, it's very simple. You should have a container like here, and a contraflow device. And of course, both they use the gravity. And the water clock was used by Greece, ancient Greece, and Egyptians, and clepsydra by Romans and Egyptians and Sumerians. Next, we're gonna evolve to more modern times, and let's have a look over the candle clocks. Candle clocks, right? Candle clocks. Yes, in the medieval, they used candle clocks. They used a candle marked with intervals, like here. With intervals, defined intervals, maybe minutes or hours. And as the candle burns, the passage of time can be measured by amount of candle that has melted and remained. This is a very simple device. Component, you need a candle and marked intervals. Well, these were used by ancient Chinese and even in European kingdoms were used in the Middle Ages. Right. Good. Well, in terms of accurate, the water clock or the clepsydra were more accurate than the candle clocks. And now, let's move next. After that, the mechanical clock has appeared. The mechanical clock. Well, mechanical clock use gears and springs and has a complicated mechanism of springs, gears, and of course wheels or geared wheel. The mainspring is wound manually or automatically and releases its energy slowly to move the gears and they move the hand tiles or the hands over a tile or a graded marker tile. So we have springs, gear, escapement wheel, and a dial marked and some hand gears. Well, example, these were used in the modern, let's say, area and industrial era. Next are the pendulum clocks. Well, somehow the pendulum clocks are close related to the mechanical clocks. They use the same principle of gears and wheels, but the only difference is the main gravity pendulum. This clock use a swinging pendulum to regulate the movement of the wheels and gears, and the mechanical principle is almost the same with the mechanical clocks. We have here a big gravity pendulum which is swinging sideways, making the movement. And as an escapement, we have gears, whites, and for some of them we have springs, but almost the pendulum is used as a spring. Right. Well, these are very elegant, and it was an apogee of a peak of Victorian age, last century and 2 centuries ago. Well, after that, we have the quartz clock. Quartz in modern times. Well, how about the quartz clock? Well, they use a quartz crystal that vibrates at precise frequency. When an electrical current is applied, that electrical current came from or comes from a battery. The vibrations are counted by an electronic circuit to keep time. So we have quartz crystal, battery, and electronics. And the display, well, the display could be analogic or digital. So this is how the quartz clock is working. Here it's a wall clock as example, or we can have the worst watch as a worst watch. Good. Next, it's the atomic clock. Well, this is the most complicated and all, because the atomic clock uses the vibration of atoms, usually cesium, or rubidium. The vibration of atoms from rubidium and cesium to keep extremely precise time. So, as main components, we have an atomic oscillator. Atomic oscillator. Control circuits and power supply. In terms of accuracy, the atomic clocks are the most precise in the world. The atomic clocks. Well, examples they use at the national standard and for the GPS satellites. The atomic clocks. And the last one in our list, it's the modern LED LCD clock. Well, they use electronic components and a digital display to show the time. Right. And in terms of components, they use like almost the same as the quartz clock. Well, the components are LED or LCD display, a microcontroller device electronic, a battery, and an AC power. And here are the example: alarm clocks and digital wristwatches. This is an alarm clock. used by the most of us. Right. And okay, so this is, we can say, the history of the clocks in just a few steps, and the main invention of the time passing devices, sundials, water clock, or clepsydra. Candle clock, mechanical clock, pendulum clock, quartz clock, atomic clock, and LED and LCD clock. Right. I hope you enjoyed this video on how it works ASMR, and I wish you all the